Hello everyone, Strangers123 here. Today with yet another replay cast for you guys. It's a Kaga game. Unfortunately, again, I cannot actually select any of the planes because, well, does this work? I don't actually think that works, which is a little bit unfortunate because I can't actually show you guys where I'm setting my planes, what kind of orders I'm giving without going to find my stream highlights, which of course I don't record separately and whatnot. So you've got all the background audio, you've got the well, you also got the face cam and whatnot, which kind of just get in the way. So anyways, what's so special about this replay? Well, nothing really, but it's the highest damage I've had in the Kaga as of yet. But it's nothing really amazing in damage, believe it or not. I'm just gonna tell you that up front. It's, well, it's only a 200,000 damage game. And here you're hearing me saying, it's only a 200,000 damage game as if it was absolutely nothing. Because let's be completely fair, it is absolutely nothing. Now, let's start this game off by having a look at our matchmaking. Nice in Scharnhorst, Dunkirk, New York, Congo. Not that much in terms of anti-aircraft deck. Scharnhorst can be a little bit painful. The rest are pretty much ignorable. Algeria, Cleveland are the only ones with defensive anti-aircraft. Neander, Armor, Karlskoga, Akatsuki. Nobody really gives a shit. Also, they have a Portier 4 in the match. Anyways, opening up, you can see on the minimap I've got my fighters circling around somewhere in the middle. That's my standard way of launching aircraft. This way I can see if I can't find the enemy's aircraft going towards mid or not. If I don't. Sucks to be me. Anyways, my number 2 group starts getting attacked and I'm just keeping it back because it's such a squishy plane, I don't want it to die. Keeping one of my squadron somewhere around the middle just to see if I can't help the friendly Akatsuki out, sending my torpedo bombers down the southern end and the dive bombers down the almost borderline because I see that my team's going up the A-line border up north, so I'm not going to get sniped by Hideo there. Speaking of Hideo, I see her there. I don't actually want to kill her. And I see the Cleveland now, and I definitely don't want to kill her. So, I'm going to go for this Scharnhorst. Because I know there's no defensive anti-aircraft. Now, Scharnhorst has realized something is coming along. And unfortunately, you can't actually see the actual drop pattern until, well, the torpedoes are in the water. But, hi, Scharnhorst! Hi! I hope you had a good day, because you're gonna get a lot of torpedoes! If I didn't miss those last 2 torpedoes, chances are I would have just outright one-shotted the poor guy. And I still have a dive bomber squadron around, but too close to the Algeria, so I don't really want to attack that to kill it. But by now, considering the fact that I haven't actually seen any of the Hideo's planes, and I know she's not AFK, she's moving. I'm splitting my fighters out just to see if I can't catch an inbound snipe. We have an Arizona on the turn line, and we have our, well, clusterfuck of stuff going up north. So I'm feeling reasonably confident that if the enemy carrier tries to snipe, I will know about it before I actually come under, attack, and it's too late to react. My AA is not that strong. So I'm basically just keeping my fighters a little bit ahead of the fleet so I can kind of pull them back if I need to, so I'm not, going too far to search for them. And there you go, I see the enemy fighter and I instantly recognize what's up. My number 2 fighter is being ordered on the map to go to give chase. My number 3 fighter is now coming along as well. And I see his fighters are way too far away from his actual strike planes. So I'm just gonna put a strafing right on top of that. And the worst thing is, if he tries to latch onto my plane, well, he's not gonna get very far either. Because if he tags my plane, I can just strafe and murder the rest as well. But I see that my Cleveland AA is absolutely doing a number on that. So Cleveland must have been paying attention. So he takes out the well, he's gonna start taking out the rest of the shit. And well, I'm sending this dive bomber in here to see if I can click the Akatsuki because I don't really want to loiter around the Algeria and the planes there. And I'm pretty sure I actually tried to manual drop him there. Because you can see the drop pattern there. I get 1 hit on him, it doesn't do much in terms of damage. But that's 1 attack, and I'm up to 53,000 damage, which is honestly about average. Also, the enemy aircraft carrier has lost the first wing of planes. Only 1 fighter, though, so that pretty much tells me that the Hideo is pretty much stock, because 1-2-2 loadout. So for me now, definitely the enemy Hideo is not much of a threat. Tried to snipe, failed miserably. I wiped 16 of her planes. And now I'm just thinking, I'm reasonably close to this Shiza now, so I kind of want to go along and just drop some torpedoes on him. Also, our team is following up, so I kind of want to just go in and kill the guy. Because again, closest target, Tier 7 battleship, and still reasonably healthy. Though of course, if that nice now pokes her nose around the corner, that health bar might start evaporating reasonably quickly. Anyways, for now, figuring that the enemy carrier is not much of a threat, I'm not really doing much with my fighters. I can see the blob down south, and I can see my friendly blob up north. Personally, right now, I should be trying to stack my torpedo bombers onto each other, and that's what I'm going to do right now. You can see, getting them closer to each other while the dive bomber comes into the air. And, well, since the Gneiss now kind of just wants to sit there and reverse, I kind of want to just go in and attack. And you can see the Gneiss now spotted my planes and is shooting at them. I honestly should have brought a plane in there to just deal with that enemy float plane, but I didn't, so this drop isn't looking too good, and one of my squadrons is already evaporating, so this Gneiss now might have a reasonable anti-aircraft spec, but one of the squadrons drops alright, and I was expecting the target to actually start accelerating forwards again. So, that was a little bit unfortunate. The Gneiss now didn't do what I expected him to. He actually decides he's going to keep reversing, just to avoid the rest of the fleet. So that's a little bit sad face for me, and now I see the enemy carriers down south, and I've got a fighter that's down there. You can see my fighter is now being ordered to fly along in that direction. Seems to target the Arizona, so I'm just going to come along, ignore everything else, and come along and place a strafe, which is now committing. And as you can see, completely obliterate one squadron, nearly obliterate the second squadron, and clip some of the dive bombers on the return as well. The enemy fighters are just circling their AFK, so I'm going to stack up and put another strafing. Really, really awkward. I kind of screwed it up. I'm going to clip the first group, but not the second group. And now I completely failed with my dive bombers because, you know, they were ordered down to fly down there. I thought I'd actually ordered an attack on the enemy's the Gneiss now, but that actually didn't turn out to be the case. I thought I'd already auto-attacked the guy, but I must have missed the click or something. So my team is hopefully going to pick that kill up. Unfortunate that I lost my entire dive bomber squadron for it, though, because I was thinking I could get some damage. And now you can see, I just strafe disengage my fighters just to get it out of there. I don't really want to mess with that Taihou fighter right now, even though that Taihou fighter is stock as well. I don't want to be messing with it under enemy anti-aircraft, because my planes are extremely squishy. But that's 27 of the enemy Taihou planes shot down. And I basically haven't really lost much. I think I've only lost 3 fighters as of yet. Anyways, I'm just sending my third fighter down there. I see the Cleveland, I'm like, I'm not screwing with that. And now I'm basically just hoping that the Arizona kills off the Dunkirk, and that's about it. Then it's a basically full HP Congo, and I think a full HP, let me just take control of the camera. Or not. I'm pretty sure it's a full HP New York down there. So that's basically something I can farm, because the rest of my team is pushing up the western flank right now, and there's really no enemies there. Anyways, I'm cycling my damaged fighter squadron, and my torpedo bombers are now coming airborne. The dive bomber got wiped, so that thing kind of needs to wait a while, but I'm just thinking, what do I want to attack? I mean, I've done 2 attacks. My Gneiss now attack failed miserably, so that's honestly about another 10k damage I could potentially have farmed off the guy. So, well, I'm a little bit sad about that, but now I see these 2 enemy ships in the middle, I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? Screw it. Screw it. The Cleveland's near the Congo. I don't really want to, screw the New York. I'm just thinking, should I go and try to go for a double attack, a double strike on these guys? I decide I'm going to drop the Leander over here, and I see that the Algeria is taking so much damage, it's completely a waste of my time to attack that. Fighter's coming in, but it doesn't matter. My torpedoes are so fast, it literally doesn't matter. The Leander is stuffed anyways. Just going to tag the fighter because I know this enemy Taihou has basically no clue how to play the game. And there, the Cleveland's down there. I'm like, do I really want to mess with that? Do I really want to mess with that? Do I really want to mess with that? Anyways, there, the enemy strike planes come close enough towards my fighters, so I'm just going to strafe disengage on top of that, and then turn around and strafe the rest of the shit away on the way home as well. In the meantime, I've got my squad 4 selected just to see if I can trigger an enemy Cleveland's defensive anti-aircraft. I don't think the guy triggered it, so I'm just going to go and attack this Cleveland in the back anyways. Not the Cleveland, the Congo in the back anyways, because the Cleveland's kind of far away. My dive bombers are coming up, and to be honest, in hindsight, what I should have done is just to wait for my dive bomber, drop the dive bomber on the New York, and then go and torpedo bomber the guy for a flooding damage over time. But this Congo is reasonably low HP, so I'm just thinking, you know what, let's just go kill the guy. And there you go, my second fighter's coming in as well to latch the enemy's fighter so I can get one of mine home. And there you go, torpedo bomber's committed, 17,000 health. This guy is, screwed. Le Screwed Royale. And that's 5 hits, completely overkill. Didn't need that, only needed 3, the guy died. And now I'm just thinking, you know what, screw this. I've got this little dive bomber here. Let's just see if we can't meme this guy on 2,500 damage with 3 hits and 2 fires. Not too bad. Anyways, now I'm pretty much just sitting behind an island being stationary. In hindsight, again, I should have just started moving up because this game was pretty much already way well into our control. Send my little plane in there just to go kill the armor plane, see if I can lose any. Even if I lose any, I don't really care too much. I've got one fighter squadron that's cycling, and I'm just keeping this other fighter squadron up here because this is where the Hiryu was kind of moving towards. So maybe the enemy Hiryu is still trying to attack up this area. And if not, my fighter squadron that's landing shortly hopefully will soon be able to take off. Although I would like to wait for my squads to land before taking it off. At least that's what I would do in hindsight right now, because the enemy only has one fighter squadron, and I'm already on 47 planes, so shoot down a few more, and I'm going to be on a clear sky. Now, as you can see, like, there's not much left, and I told you, this is my highest damage game. If you saw the previous one, which was a mediocre game of 140,000 damage, which is currently about my average, and that's without a captain on, a 0-point captain, guys. Well, this game has to be a little bit better, right? Anyways, the Scharnhorst is under attack, which I actually didn't notice on the map when I was playing this. I never actually realized that the Scharnhorst was that far ahead already, so obviously the Scharnhorst is going to be the primary target by the enemy carrier, so I screwed that up. That's one defense that I basically failed. Poor me, I suck, I should go and install. Right, anyways, the Cleveland's up there, and I'm just, you know, I kind of want to avoid that. Realizing that I'm never going to get to defend the Scharnhorst, no way, I'm just going to go fly my fighter south and see if I can't intercept the planes on the way home. And there you go, see, I'm just going to place a strafe right now before swapping back to my torpedo bombers on this New York, who, you know, I pretty much kind of read now is just turning in. I screwed my first drop up, like, pretty majorly. I'm, like, lining up. How should I attack this? Should I try to long drop this guy? And to be completely honest, I shouldn't. I should just drop him normally, because that's half his health gone. So instead, I lose one plane, which means I lose one of my alphas. And, well, I think I'm going to miss one of the back squads as well, so that's really just any old IGN drop pattern coming in there, which is really, really, really unfortunate for me. Because, you know, I suck at this game, guys. But 51 planes shot down, and looking at the lineup, let's see, Kneisenau, team killing Scharnhorst, that's not that many enemy planes, flow planes, so it's not that... I'm really close to a clear sky, a couple more planes, and I definitely would have a clear sky safe. This Cleveland is now committing suicide down the middle of the map, so I don't really need to do much about that. And the enemy aircraft are now taking off again. I'm keeping my dive bomber around. I'm just thinking, should I go drop this Cleveland? He's dead. He's dead. I don't need to drop the Cleveland. And now, I'm not really paying attention to my fighters. I'm just thinking, you know what, screw it. Let's just sit on this guy and get myself a pseudo clear sky. And there you go, or just going to order them to attack the rest of the stuff as well now, and well, with one torpedo bomber coming in for this Hiryu. Hiryu's kind of poking her nose around the corner, so I'm pretty much just going to try to MLG drop her from long range, and also bring a dive bomber along, just to deal some additional damage. And now I definitely have a clear sky, 57 planes shot down. The drop goes pretty well. I'm going to get 4 hits on her, which is basically the same as a max IGN. Unfortunately, the front one missed. The target's kind of doing some awkward stuff. And now I'm just thinking, well, I've got this insane dive bomber spread. I might as well just try to alpha the Hiryu down. And I get 4 hits for 1,700 damage. Bonk jump. Can we get some hype for 1,000 damage over 4 hits, guys? That's like one Lexington dive bomber would have done 3 times that damage. Well, 2 times that damage almost. Actually, it's about right. So... there you go, you can see these dive bombers. They are, I call them the meme bombers for a bloody good reason. They do absolutely no damage whatsoever, but they have a tendency to set a lot of fires. And now it's just the Armahan New York left, and hey, I'm on under the 60k damage, which is honestly just any old average game. My team was ruffle stomping the enemies, but even though we were ruffle stomping the enemies, I was still picking up a lot of damage, and this definitely would have been a high caliber medal as well. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm so far away from the battle now that realistically I'm not going to get attacked too much more in this game. Let's just see if we can speed this up a little bit as I wait for my little plane. You can see it on the map here. It's slowly coming over. I'm just thinking, I'll keep the armor spotted. I'll let my team shoot at the armor. So everyone shoot at the armor, please. In the meantime, I'm bringing my torpedo bombers up to this New York. And put it back into normal speed again. I'm not going to launch my dive bomber. I won't need it. The game's going to be long over before I get that into range to do anything. And there we go. I know this New York is the type that likes to turn into my planes. So I'm just going to drop a little bit farther away. See if I can't aim to get a 5 hit run on him, and that is exactly the case. 5 hits and the guy survives on like 300 health, 49 health, and floods to death. So there we go, I'm on 187,000 damage, and this armor still somehow ain't dead yet. So, let's just, you know what, speed this up as well, because I'm going to bring a torpedo bomber along and see if I can't do some dropping. The armor actually kills our Cleveland. And there you go, the armor is turning in, and he's still low HP. 1 hit on his center line is going to kill him. And there you go, fish in the water. He's got the entire bloody team shooting at him. 1 hit up the tail, 1 hit up the front, and bam. Well, gentlemen, that was my highest damage game, as of yet, that I've had in a Kaga. I have not been able to breach the 200,000 damage mark, and I'm going to give you guys my theory on why. First of all, the planes are reasonably slow. So to actually get over that damage, and this game I could have if I didn't screw up the Knights Now attack, you kind of need your team to just suck. So you need to get lucky that your team sucked enough that you don't get a ruffle stomp like this one. Then you need the enemy team to not be AA spec'd, or not have too much AA, so you can actually get in and do high amounts of damage. You need people to damage control party your fires, so that you can get a damage over time stack on them and burn the target down. And here's the thing about my Kaga gameplay right now, I'm not being patient at all. I'm not waiting for my die bar, I'm just going, oh, I see a target, I'm gonna drop 1,000,000 torpedoes on it and 50k damage and fuck off. Of course, if I do a 50k damage alpha strike plus flooding, then of course pretty much everything in the game will just flood down, because of the way flooding works. If I get a full flooding, if not, the second attack will kill it outright, because, well, cycling time doesn't take that long, but like, take for example a Yamato. If I dive bomb for whatever, and the guy damocons the fire, the dive bomber damage literally doesn't matter. And then I come in with my torpedo bombers, I hit, say, 8 out of 12. That's basically assuming 4 of them die from long range, and the Yamato's a pretty big target. I get a flooding, so that those 8 torpedoes will probably do about 30k damage, and full lasting flooding, let's just say about 50k-ish. Sounds about reasonable in my opinion, so that's 80,000 damage off 1 attack. That's not bad at all, is it? Against a theoretical Yamato. But anyways, on EU server, this is, so people do have AA. You saw on the Knights Now, if he didn't have an AA spec, he wouldn't have, well, he had a semi-AA spec, he had reasonably powerful AA as well, though it appeared to be reasonably short range. So he might have had just manual anti-aircraft, and he ripped apart in the high squad before I got to him. I'm attacked North Carolinas with fewer losses, by the way, so I did knock out some of his health, but unfortunately I missed one of the torpedoes, and my dive bomber failed, so hey, that's my 200,000 damage marker that I failed to get. But yeah, that's really what I can say about dealing high damage. Like, it's the same with getting 200 damage game Fusos or something like that. I think I saw one of those earlier as well. It requires a bit of luck. But that's the thing about my Kaga. As long as I'm not divisioning, my division games have all been utter crap, like 100k damage crap. Here I am calling 100,000 damage crap in a Kaga, you know, that kind of tells you something. But the point I'm trying to make is that it depends a lot on your team, and it depends a lot on your enemy. If you're contesting the same amount of damage from your team as your division is contesting, then you're obviously going to get less damage, or all of you guys in your division are going to have like, to be able to have a good game each. So if I'm in a Kaga, I need 150,000 damage. For them, if they're 1 battleship and 1 destroyer, they need like 180,000 damage. So that's basically 300 plus thousand damage that this one single division needs, and there usually isn't even that much health on the enemy team total for you to effectively be able to farm. So yeah, what I'm just trying to say is I tend to be quite reliable with my Kaga. My average is around 140,000-ish. My worst is 90k, my max is this one, 192k, almost 200. So yeah. Anyways, let's actually have a look at the post-battle result screens then. 33 torpedo hit, 57 planes shot down. The enemy Hideo was completely clueless. 4 kills, no Kraken unfortunately. 192,556 damage, like I said. Having a look at the team scores, I'm top on the board, 2,323 experience, a good amount of plane kills, good amount of damage, so that's a note. Well, if I'd done 200,000 damage in, say, for example, a Scharnhorst, Nagato, or Hood, I probably would be on 3,000 base experience or more. And I guess that's just Wargaming's way of saying carriers are known for being able to pull off pretty high scores, so we're going to nerf your XP income a little bit, which for a Kaga really doesn't matter too much unless you're really there for training the captain or for farming captain free XP. Detail report, New York, 44,000 damage. If I wanted to alpha him, I could have just outright killed him. The thing's only got 42,000 health, and that's 2 torpedo bomber strikes, of which I failed quite a few torpedoes on. Congo, 17k, I just stole that kill. Leander, 30,000, again, I basically stole the kill. Picked up the armor at the end. Scharnhorst, 52,000. That was the first initial alpha strike. That's 50,000 of the guy's health in the first 3 minutes of the game. So he definitely had a really, really nice game. The Scharnhorst, 1 torpedo bomber squadron survived to drop him. 30,000 damage already as well. And then I picked up a bit of the Hiryu that I don't exactly remember. And as you can see, damage caused, aircraft, bombs, 6k. Torpedoes, 177,000 torpedo bomber damage. And my damage over time, not much. Team play, warship spotted 9 because aircraft carriers, squadron spotted 7, that was part of the stuff I wiped. Torpedo spotted 13 because that wasn't really what I was going for. Of course, no capture points, and who cares about the defensive points when I just one-shot killed everything. And again, that's part of the reason why you get, in my opinion, really, really short games over here, because you just blow the enemy team up so hard and fast that your team just ruffle stomps them. Like at the start of the game, in a tier 7 game, they had a Scharnhorst in the beginning. Well, I attacked it 3 minutes into the game, and that Scharnhorst basically wasn't there anymore. I basically, in one attack, completely knocked out, well, 80% knocked out one of their top tiered battleships at the start of the game. And this is just the insane power, because that battleship can't push anymore. Our team can focus him down, and he's down a lot. That team is down a lot of firepower. If their team sees it, they're probably going to start wanting to blob, which means they're unable to do any real effective contestation of anything. Sure, they can contest one flag, and sure, they can negate me, but then I've already done my job. And as a Kaga, I can always just go, okay, if there's nothing better to do, if all your anti-air is blobbing in one area, I'm just going to kill the enemy carrier. And, well, last screen, credits received, almost 600,000 credits. I don't think I'm running any credits boosting equipment on it, although I do have the King of the Sea flag, so that's an extra 20%. That, well, for the most part, you guys wouldn't be able to get. Only 12 people on the server have that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast. Hope I get a proper Kaga review up in the next following days. Otherwise, I'll just keep spamming a crapload of my replays of Hood and Kaga from, well, today onwards. So hopefully you guys have, well, a lot of video spam to actually look forwards to. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one.